Made in Hollywood.
I'm here on location at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park, and today on Made in Hollywood, I'll be sitting down with Aaron Pierre and Kelvin Harrison Jr. for Disney's Mufasa, The Lion King.
The joy and the fun we had making the movie is also what makes the movie really exciting and lively as well. So.
Made in Hollywood.
Also on today's show, the powerful civil rights drama Nickel Boys features Aunjanue Ellis Taylor.
I read the script and just thought that it was something missing, right? But yeah, it wasn't anything missing. It was just how he was going to shoot the film.
Plus, Ali Wong lends her voice to the supernatural fantasy series Gentry Chow vs. the Underworld. The biographical drama The Fire Inside features Brian Tyree Henry. And from Emmy-nominated creator Chuck Lorre comes Season 2 of the comedy series Bookie. This week on Made in Hollywood.
Made in Hollywood.
Disney's Mufasa the Lion King brings to life the epic origin story of one of the Pride Land's most iconic rulers, featuring the voices of Aaron Pierre and Kelvin Harrison Jr.
It's time I tell you a story.
A story! So glad I brought some crickets.
Rafiki, keep going.
The story about a prince who would come to be known as Scar and an orphan named Mufasa.
Mufasa gives us the origin story of one of the most iconic rulers of the Pride Lands. Was there something new that you learned about the character when you were working on this film?
A lot.
Yeah, so much.
I think seeing the relationship of Mufasa and who would become Scar was really heartwarming and also very sad and tragic.
Yeah. I expected him to have it all figured out 24/7 because that's how he's presented in the first film. And then suddenly we get to see this guy who has a lot of questions and doesn't always have the answers. And I don't always think he makes the best choices. But he still comes out triumphant because there's a big love and a big heart in him.
Two brothers who set off on a dangerous journey to find a new home and a new family.
What drew you to this project, and what was it about Mufasa that really wanted you to take on this challenge?
I think like everybody else, when I heard Barry Jenkins is directing a Lion King movie, I went, huh? And I was very curious to see what that would look and feel like. And then I was lucky enough to get sent the script, and I thought it was amazing.
I have a secret, Mufasa. I always wanted a brother. I always wanted a brother. I always wanted a brother.
I feel like there's a childhood innocence and of the vastness of your imagination when you're a child, where you can just fall into any world. That's what I tried to bring to our recordings.
What's really exciting about that process is that our lives brings life into the film. And I think the joy and the fun we had making the movie is also what makes the movie really exciting and lively as well.
Finally, food. If you take my life, you will never find where you are going. Parker, do not eat him. Wonderful. Another we're not supposed to eat.
Would you say then at the end of the day, a lot of the dialogue that we hear is actually more improvisational rather than what was on the script?
Yeah, I think like 95% of what Timon and Pumbaa say in the movie has been improvised, I would say.
Yes, it was an insane amount of stuff that we did was actually used, which was shocking to me. Might be one of my most improvised roles I've ever done.
I thought this was a comedy.
I think you could include an enthusiastic, rambunctious warthog a little bit more.
And a charismatic meerkat you can't help but fall in love with.
Of course, with Seth and Billy, when I was speaking to them, they were saying that they did a lot of improvisation. And because they're comedians, they can kind of get away with that. But how much of what you recorded is improvised?
Personally, there was only a small element of improvisation. A lot of it was scripted for me.
Mufasa! We're alive! I did it! I saved us! You were saying?
But the moments when we did get to have a little bit of improvisation were really fun.
We are nearing destiny, Mufasa. And so, the earth must shake.
What do you hope this new generation will take away from Mufasa?
Mostly us.
Yeah,
that
of
Timon
course.
and Pumbaa deserve a spin-off.
That we are relevant comedians.
Yeah.
I think I'm just really excited for people to engage with this film, like during the holiday season, whether they see it on their own or with their loved ones, with their friends. Just however you choose to engage with it is the right way for you, and we just hope that you feel the joy that we experience making
I
it.
think we all kind of have this image in our heads of like Scar's the bad brother, Mufasa's the good brother, and this movie complicates that in such a rich and interesting way. But no one's born good or bad. There's no such thing as that binary. When you can have that level of nuance with your kids in those conversations, it's really important.
Coming up, Ingenue Ellis Taylor stars in the civil rights drama Nickel Boys, and the supernatural fantasy series Gentry Chow vs. the Underworld features the voice of Ali Wong. To find out where to watch any movie, scan the QR code so you can get notified to download the new Movie Phone app.
I read the script and just thought that it was something missing, right? But yeah, it wasn't anything missing. It was just how he was going to shoot the film.
Made in Hollywood. Made in Hollywood.
Inspired by the Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, Nickel Boys chronicles two black teenagers forming an unexpected bond in a notorious reform school featuring Ingenue Ellis Taylor.
Nana.
To go back to the source, I made this large format photo in which I kind of made this explicit intervention into Southern photography. And I have thought about making a POV film since then and kind of forgot about it, didn't have a reason to outside of the artistic context. And then after reading this book, all of those feelings came back to life, and it seemed like it was the perfect blueprint to explore these ideas.
He didn't explain it to me at all. I didn't know he was gonna do it this way until I got to work. But here's the thing. I read the script and just thought that it was something missing, right? But yeah, it wasn't anything missing. It was just how he was going to shoot the film.
Nana, what is it?
I let you down.
I'm okay. Yeah.
Hell, I let you down.
No.
There are a lot of traditions that should be honored, but I think there are a lot of traditions, particularly in filmmaking, American filmmaking, that we should explode. We should invent new lanes or reach for lanes that we know exist but we are afraid of.
It is unnatural, and it's this intrusive machine that's just kind of in your face that you've got to accept and allowed to become someone else. So it took a little time, but I think once we were able to get into a rhythm, those days felt really good, and it was very strange to reach a place where you felt comfortable playing to a camera and letting the camera fade away and, you know, see a face in it and see eyes in it and, you know, kind of play with that. It was really interesting.
My mother's watch.
A deck of marked cards. My big toenail.
That's all you got?
Really got nothing left to lose.
The script that Ramel and Jocelyn wrote, I found that the words entered into my presence very easily, and then from there that just kind of starts to inform everything. I wasn't thinking too much about who Turner was, but I just got to show up and live it. And there's an understanding that goes on, but yeah, not analyzing it very much, just kind of allowing it to be and then showing up and getting to explore it with Ethan.
I think that they knew the assignment, and I think that they understood it, but they had only understood it conceptually. They hadn't had their bodies in the positions, and I think they challenged what we were thinking, and I think we challenged what they were thinking, and I think that tension is what you see in the film.
Now available on your home screen, a Chinese-American teen is forced to embrace the supernatural powers she's long tried to suppress in Gentry Chow vs. the Underworld, featuring the voice of Ali Wong.
Anyone need a lab partner?
First and foremost, like, it's a love letter to my childhood. I was born and raised in the suburbs of Dallas, and I had this interesting experience being this like Chinese American girl and trying to fit in and trying to figure out if I was Chinese or Texan, and like short answer, both. But having that journey, I think, really inspired me to want to see something like that. And so I was like, well, here are all the things that I love watching, which is like horror and anime-inspired shows and YA, and putting it all into like one show. I had a lot of fun doing that.
You were born with these powers, Gentry. They're bound to your soul.
You have weird fiery hands!
Yeah, well, Shut up!
It's really hard as a stand-up to collaborate with people because you're so used to writing, directing, and acting out your own material. But when you do collaborate with people, you want to make sure it's people that you trust, because if you don't, then every note that they give, any opinion that they have, in your head, you're like, yeah, so says you. And then you start to fight with them and everything. But with her, I don't think we ever got into an argument. And if we did, that's fine. But I really just wholly trusted her vision from the beginning, and so it was just such a wonderful, delightful process.
I don't think we ever fought. Like, that's...
Yeah.
I don't...
Can you imagine if you were like, can you say it like this? And I'd be like, no! I don't think that character... That'd be crazy. That would be insane.
Yeah.
And then she'd have to go on a Reddit thread and tell everybody that.
I'm like, a 28 female. Have you ever encountered a celebrity that won't do what you want?
To find out where to watch any movie, scan the QR code so you can get notified to download the new MoviePhone app. Up next, the biographical drama The Fire Inside, featuring Brian Tyree Henry. And from creator Chuck Lorre comes season 2 of the dark comedy series, Bookie.
It's hard to just say one thing about her that really sparked something, sparked my interest in just who she is.
Made in Hollywood. Made in Hollywood.
After winning an Olympic gold medal, a teenage boxer discovers the harsh realities of achieving your dreams in the biographical drama The Fire Inside, featuring Brian Tyree Henry.
There was a girl named Clarissa came into the gym tonight. What you think about girls boxing?
Don't see no reason why she can't. She got hands.
Hey, Mama.
Talk to you, man.
Going to bed. I got training in the morning. It's hard to just say one thing about her that really sparked something, sparked my interest in just who she is. I think for me, it was very interesting to understand her on a more human level, because just like everyone else, I was used to seeing her in fighter mode. Being able to see kind of the start of that and how that formed and where that literally came from was really just a treat for me.
USA Boxing hasn't won a gold medal since 2004.
Yeah, well, none of them boxers was Clarissa, was it?
I've been in front of cameras and I've been followed by cameras my entire life, I feel like, starting at the age of 13. So, with the documentary I had, T-Rex, where they followed me from the age of 16 till I was like 19, 20. But now it's someone else going to be portraying me. And I was like, that is pretty darn cool.
We'll be going to China for the qualifiers. And after that, it's London. Can't nobody beat me.
Working with the debut director is, there's a special set of circumstances because we're learning along the way. But Rachel's so punk rock, Like, she came in her tank tops and her skateboards and her hoverboards, and, she knew where her shots wanted to be. I love the chemistry between her and Ryan. They had been with the project for 2 years before I came on board. So this was like her passion project, This was her baby.
I think that The Fire Inside is the story is spot on. Like, when they say based on the incredible true story, it's a very true story, and it's not a whole bunch of Hollywood theatrics and all that stuff. It's like, this is my life and this is how hard it was, and I can't wait for everybody to see it Christmas Day.
It's not fair, but people expect female athletes to behave a certain way.
I won that gold medal by being me. What happened to staying true to who you are?
It's way bigger than boxing, Russ. So it's gonna be up to you to show who Clarissa Shields really is.
I did actually get to talk to her a lot before filming. I didn't get to actually meet her physically until after she saw the film.
Ryan Destiny had it all taken care of. She trained very, very hard for her boxing. I let her know if she needed me, let me know. They didn't need me, and I think Ryan did a great job.
I think it was just those little parts of her that really, excited me and was cool to just discover and find out.
I want you to take that fire inside of you and turn it into something good.
Now available on your home screen, a lovable con man tries to charm his way to the top in Season 2 of the dark comedy series Bookie from Emmy-nominated creator Chuck Lorre.
We have business with El Condor. We're bookmakers.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Are you high? A little bit, yeah.
It's about a couple of small-time Los Angeles bookies trying to make a living in a hostile environment. Legalized gambling is going to put them out of business eventually.
You sure he can't have an oyster?
I'm sure.
No, I tried.
Two guys chronicling their professional and personal lives in a way that I don't think we've seen on TV before.
I am what I am, and you knew that when you married me.
Popeye.
What?
I am what I am, and that's all that I am.
Hey.
We see them not only collecting from a variety of different personalities, which comedy comes from, but we also see them dealing with, their personal lives.
Danny and Ray are our core relationship. And every time we get those two guys together in that car, we're onto something good.
They argue over everything, food. They argue over our radio. They argue over, their lives and who has the worst life this week.
I wouldn't trust this guy around a preschool, yet somehow I trust him with our money.
Chuck is probably the greatest comedy writer in television history. And Nick he's so funny and he's so well versed in this world.
There's a lot of trial and error that goes on when you're making a comedy, at least whenever I've been involved in anything that's purports to be a comedy. There's stuff that doesn't work. There's always stuff that doesn't work, and that requires a great deal of faith and trust, making sure we, when we leave, we have a scene we believe will work, will cause laughter if that's what we're going for.
Yeah. At least you got a fun story you could tell your 180 grandkids.
Stay tuned, there's more coming up on Made in Hollywood.
Made in Hollywood.
Thanks for watching Made in Hollywood, powered by MoviePhone. For more behind-the-screen content, check out MoviePhone.com.
Made in Hollywood. Made in Hollywood. Made in Hollywood.